As we are going to start off too. Top right hand side of the map, this is going to be our blue Protoss player. It is ShoWTimE. Wins against MaxPax earlier today. Sets him up to be 1-0 in the group. What a great setup it is. See if he can continue through this difficult group in good stead. His opponent, one of the toughest. In the bottom left, our red Zerg is Serral. As we get into game number 1 of this best of 3. Alright guys, what are we expecting in this PvZ? Talk to me a little bit. I'm not really sure what we expect. A good time, that's what. Right guys, a good time, yeah? I'm sure that's exactly what's coming our way. Yeah, kind of intrigued as to how this will set up. I'm going to just have a couple of drones coming out, a hatchery is on the way, a gateway coming up on the side of ShoWTimE. For our first few moments. Possibly the way that these two like to play as well. A lot of the time, their matches do tend towards that kind of later stage of the game. ShoWTimE's happy to play a longer game. Serral loves the late game as well. It's fun to see these two in the same group. What a rough group for ShoWTimE though, man. You get into the Masters Coliseum and that's what you're met with. I feel like if you put ShoWTimE in any of the other groups, it would more or less be a favorite to make playoffs. Maybe not clear cut, but like, I would say he's very competitive. This is probably the toughest group to be competitive. And I mean, you know, the top trio of expectations of Serral, MaxPax, and Maru. That's tough to break into. And then beyond that, you've got a dangerous PvP in Trigger. You've got Gumiho, who is absolutely deadly and can just kind of ruin your tournament by winning a series off of you. I mean, it's really not an easy event to play in, as Link Speed comes up by the way. Queen's on the way out, a couple of drones on the way through. After that hatchery already coming into the front from Serral. And this Link just coming around, scouting about a little bit as well, just trying to keep an eye on what's happening in these early stages. Couple of queens on the way out. Link Speed's going to be finishing soon. Our Oracle coming in. Our Warp Gate is finishing shortly as well. So just bringing this on along. As our Oracle pop, ShoWTimE really does just typically like his multiple Oracle openings. 3-4 Oracles and just typically kind of playing out from there. It's kind of the way that ShoWTimE plays these PvZs, so kind of just expecting something similar in that regard. There's a couple queens about halfway done, a couple of drones coming out, the Lings are coming through still. Again, for the moment, still a good amount of setting up being done. As our spores, drones, Lings, queens continue to produce. A couple of adepts are going to grab a Zergling as well. Just going to nab that as our Overlord still continues to the upper side. That's coming back over the right. Just going to chill out here with that pylon nearby as well. And still got the Oracle over on the left. Got a second Oracle also coming across. These early few moments. Oracle just going to get a little blast on a drone. As the Oracle tries to come in there, a couple more drones will just get picked off already. So just going to work our way through those. I mean, it's nice to get some drones early, but this is not exactly being the super scary start. I mean, we're still only a couple drones deep. We are going to drop Revelations to clean out some of the creep spreads, so again, just poking, prodding, really just finding little bits of damage at a time for the moment as Oracle's come back around into the center. Still going to see that lair coming up as well here. So we'll just kind of getting his own tech online and underway. As that Adepts is going to nab a bit of creep spread. This Queen's still pushing out. And yeah, the Oracle's just going to hang out overhead. He's going to get one drone immediately. So Oracle still just on that bottom side, still going to ping away on the Overlord. Oracle still just chilling now as we come in. We're going to get 2, 3 more drones actually. So, to be fair, ShoWTimE is really starting to chip his way through Serral's drone count. Again, just this what ShoWTimE can do. He can put himself into a good little position to start out with. Get some good damage done throughout the early stages. Do see a couple more of those Zealots warping in. Ling's going to start nibbling at this set of rocks, +1 attack charge. The gateway's all coming through. The Queen's are going to be here to punch the Oracles back once again, so the Oracles get punched back through the bottom side of the map. Queens are back, and they're going to knock down a cannon that's building, so we're just trying to stay active. Obviously, this is scouting information for him as well, right? He sees what kind of army is being built, he sees where it's at, what sort of tech units are currently involved. He can make decisions from there, although currently his decision is just to go straight into some swarm hosts. So Serral, swarm hosting it up, maybe not the initial expectation of what this is going to be on my side is you do drop 4 drones, 5 drones pretty swiftly. Oracles into the main, trying to find a little bit of something. The score is there too. Those Oracles push back a little, though. And still up, and we do still see the Temple Archives coming through. Extra gates on the way out. Now Swarmhosts begin to move around into the center of the map as just have everything of ShoWTimE. Going to be needed here to deal with these Swarmhosts, especially the first waves. Dealing with these Locusts without losing too much is not going to be easily done. Locusts left off, they're going to move towards the natural expansion. It's actually dangerous for ShoWTimE because it's not going to be easy for him to get onto that natural. That is just straight up a dead robo facility. Some probes begin to drop. 10 workers killed so far. So ShoWTimE taking a pretty big beat into this first round of Locusts, and really it was just great position for Serral. Those are some nice force fields trapping the units until the battles come down, so it gives you a little bit of value on the back end of that Locust wave. All those Zarkons coming through, a couple of Roaches taking some damage. You see that Baneling Nest coming up from Serral as well, so that's going to be part of his future. Good stasis ward is going to save ShoWTimE a little bit. That alongside a super battery will keep him going against the Roach Ravager force, because obviously the Locusts now are just going to expire in that stasis. Well, it gives ShoWTimE a bit of breathing room. That looked like a pretty scary wave of this attack, but ShoWTimE survives with minimal losses, and this is really important because it gives him a chance to build up some more units before the next fight. I think that especially is one of the more important things here. However, ShoWTimE was supply blocked for quite a while, so I'm talking about maybe building up his, extra bit of army before the next wave of Locusts. That doesn't happen if you're supply blocked, right? So that is a pretty costly one. Oracles are firing, bit of damage being dealt. Now Locusts dropping down, a few of these probes taking damage, Zealots are taking damage. Malcon lifts up already into that prism, getting away. 11 probes have been picked off, so 11 probes going down. Oh, High Templar continue to warp in, just going to move a few Archons as their Roach Ravager at the front is going to do what it can, but again, it's the Prism Micros for ShoWTimE doing what he can to get value in this game. You can't just let it be all about Serral. You can't just let these Locusts find efficiency again and again. Being able to lift up, being able to, keep your own units alive, preserve them a little bit goes a long way for you as ShoWTimE pops a super battery on the third. He's kind of wanting to send units there to defend it in a way, but then I think he's can't really get in range easily because he's kind of sim-city'd out. The Locust get like 8 workers, not really that much, and now we'll see how we do with the Roach Ravager portion of this. ShoWTimE kind of feels like he's losing a couple of units as this back and forth battle engages. He's obviously getting some of the Roach Ravager. Serral still only on 65 workers. His work count will always be low when you're playing Swarm Hosts because you know that these Swarm Hosts are going to provide you with efficiency, so you don't need to play off of a high work count. That allows you to have a sizable army still backing up these Locusts, which allows you to make these kind of plays where you can push in and just have enough units to actually be scary as you push into these bases. So still on the front lines, and you find himself a couple of the Immortals. I mean, these are the units you really want to keep alive at ShoWTimE. Those are the units which really stack up and eventually perhaps makes it doable. Still on the way in. The armor upgrade's about halfway done. Belts are going to charge out down to the bottom side. Our Hatchery taking some hits. Our Lings will come over as the Locust is going to head in towards this top side base, going to land straight down onto it, and, well, Immortals and Archons will be able to deal with that pretty swiftly, so that round of Locust doesn't do as much, but at this point Serral is already kind of moving on from all of this. He's moving into, you know, an army that's a little bit more than just the Swarm Host. He's getting a Hive Tech online, he's getting melee upgrades up, so he knows that he can't rely on these Locusts to do damage forever. He's not just realizing it now, he's known about it for a while. And so he is making those follow-up changes. Good balls go down. We're going to try and grab the Arc on that. We'll go down as well. Just going to be seeing Roach Ravager still getting pushed away. Just going to be seeing 19 new Roaches being built. It's a lot of army from ShoWTimE heading through the middle of the map. I'll tell you what, ShoWTimE is finally going to get maxed out. A lot of the time I feel like getting maxed is one of the challenges against an army like this. You got to survive wave after wave. Now that you are maxed, can you find one big fight, one big push to really get things going in your favor? If you can fight around a Locust, clean it up, and then start pushing while the Locust is on cooldown, that really is your absolute prime time opportunity to do very well. Because then the army is really still kind of low tech on the side of Serral, so that should be when the highest opportunity is kind of out and about. So again, those Banelings morphed in. Great Spy on the way too, so again, he's constantly being teching behind this. He's constantly being realizing that eventually he's going to need something better in his army. Initially it's going to be these Banelings, then it's going to be the Broodlords. But Force Worlds, although ShoWTimE is not quite maxed right now, so that might dissuade him from continuing to push. That might just give Serral the extra moments of setup that he needs to make the finishing touches to a Broodlord switch or so, and to really solidify himself. Almost found, and they try and burrow to get safe, but obviously Oracles have a revelation. We're actually going to kill a fair few of those Swarm Hosts, although ShoWTimE responding to the Locust on the left is not in position on the right side. This is Serral's moment to get through and to get a little bit more damage done than he's maybe found in a while. Usually he's met with that wall of Immortal Archon. This time he gets forward a little bit before the Immortal Archon does show up. Coming over, just going to be seeing Zealot still fighting, and well, these run-bys are starting to add up a little bit as well, right? This is starting to be some pretty serious damage. ShoWTimE getting the push down the right-hand side. He's got to deal with these Banelings. He's got a lot of tanky units. It's a hell of a lot of Banelings. They only really kill an Archon or two. Serral supply, it's not going to be looking great. He's reproducing 33 Roaches, but Roaches on their own are not exactly going to cut it. ShoWTimE knocked down the base on the left side as well. Does he have the confidence to keep moving forward? The Swarm Host did survive on the left. I wondered if they were in trouble. Swarm Host pop out. Just going to be seeing our roaches pushing through. A couple of biles. Actually going to hint the Observer, so they get something there. Is there enough roaches? I said the roaches maybe not that scary on their own. Well, I guess enough of them still is. ShoWTimE has to back it up. His reinforcements just non-existent on this side of the map. These more Stalkers warping in right now. Extra Immortals would be incredible, but it doesn't have those yet. I wonder if ShoWTimE could have maybe thought about some splash damage. Probably not, right? It probably would have been a bit too expensive to try and set up into, like, disruptors or so, while continuing to hold off all these Locust waves and all the rest of it. Ravage up the right side, Immortal Stalkers. And we sat there, a couple of biles coming through as our Roach Ravage continues in. 9, 10 probes going down. Locust on the top side actually finding the damage on the side of Serral. So Serral is getting some damage done. However, ShoWTimE now, again, if he hits the right amount of tech units, this Roach Ravage army melts. Good corrosive biles there, forced ShoWTimE back just as it was needed. ShoWTimE going to try and find his attack on the left side again. He denied that base once. If he can find it another time, then incredible. There's not really much here for you Zerglings. They won't fare too well against the Zealots. Just feels like ShoWTimE is ever on the verge of taking the fight that might just make the difference, that might just get it done, but just doesn't quite have enough to truly push through. It seems to be his biggest problem. Nexus goes down, the few Locusts continue forward. Attack about to finish up. Plus 2 melee coming in on the other side as well, so we continue to bring this through. Pushing forward, Roach Ravage starting to get on top of these units. Is ShoWTimE going to survive? I don't think so. You can't really micro out of this one. Maybe the prison can save a couple of mortals, but Serral is going to find the crash through army to clean up, and that is going to be Serral. 1-0 over ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE again puts up a great fight, puts up a great effort, but Serral on the top left-hand side, Blue Protoss player who's going to be down one game. Looking to bounce back, it is ShoWTimE. He put up a good fight. It felt like he did a lot of things right, just, again, against Serral. It seems unfair, but like sometimes it's just a factor that has to be considered. You're playing against Serral, and sometimes that is enough of a statement to kind of explain why you're having a rough go of it or having a bad time. Serral bottom right from Basilisk. Hot start in this group, 2-0 over Maru. That's absolutely what he's looking for. And looking for a win over ShoWTimE. Would be a pretty perfect first day from him. He'll play Max Pack's trick over in Gumiho tomorrow. Probe coming to pop around, spawning pool coming out. There's obviously a hatchery down before the probe can block it or anything, so that's a small factor early game as well. Serral will have his normal hatchery instead of the third location or anything. I think he's just very happy to take a more regular setup kind of base. Now we have our probe. Still just gonna dodging around, trying to see what we can do. It's just being annoying background for the moment. What comes about, Nexus is continuing through. Queen, slings, drones still building on the side of Serral as well. So you want to adapt, already kind of moving forward a little bit. Stargate's halfway done. Hatchery still coming up. Link speed still coming through. The Queen on the way through as well for the moment. Adept's chilling out. Stalker, Warp Gate coming up. Going to be seeing that link speed coming through. Adept's going to grab a creep team of that. Stalker pings, Overlord taking some damage. It's going to be seeing the Oracle. How to finish up, Warp Gate still coming through. Oracle will activate to get rid of a few of those lings, and the Adept is chased around just a little bit for the first few moments. Doing distantly as that, as we do have a couple of Queens. On the way out, Stalker is going to get there and he's going to be able to knock down an Overlord pretty much immediately as well. It's just going to take that straight out. Adept Stalker coming around. Oracle's about halfway done. Couple Queens popping out as our Lings going around towards those few Adepts. Just gonna see the Adept shading out around the top side of the map, and the Oracles poison themselves through the main base. Gonna dive in for a couple of drones as well. It's just gonna nab those as, yeah, they will end up sitting in the corner. Rotoron now on the way out from Serral as well, so bringing that Rotoron into existence. Oracles just continue to move around. We still see the hatchery setting up on the sides. We'll see. And Oracle's just trying to control this game a bit. I do wonder if we're going to see a... Yeah. I wonder if we're going to see... Well, what we're going to see for Serral this time around. Would it be obviously surprised to see SwarmHosts a second time? Usually they're very map dependent, and actually not something you go for kind of back-to-back games. Just gonna get their sentries as well, just pushing the Lings back. We are gonna go Infestation bit pretty quickly. I saw upgrades and road speed on the way too, so maybe we are gonna go for something similar again. Infestation pit is still popping through. The Oracles escape back out through the bottom side. We did just lose one, right? Trying not to type. Yeah, so one Oracle has fallen. Dark Shrine on the way from ShoWTimE. It is the SwarmHost a second time around from Serral, so he clearly likes what he's doing for the moment. He's going to drop a couple more Crypt Tumors down. Army going to push forward a little bit here. ShoWTimE can try and take a fight. The problem is if you start fighting now, I like this, especially if you force the Locust into the center, but then you have to back away. You can't keep fighting this for the Locust here. So now you have to back away. I mean, at least you forced someone who has to utilize that Locust, so that should slow things down a little bit. The Locust still just push forward. You're going to see Locust jumping in toward the third base as well. A fourth on the left side. Nexus coming through too. As our links continue by. Roach is still in production, plus one missile upgrade. Also on the way in. This left side base is, look, those just going to go down. This last ShoWTimE can get over here, but if he comes over here, the SwarmHosts are perhaps going to be poised to strike on the right once more. It's this constant balancing act of how do you keep each and every position alive, right? Uncle's firing. If your Roach is taking damage, Revelation goes down again. Playing Roach Ravager, all producing through on +2 missiles. Is on the way up. This Locust is going to get in, and again, just feels as though Serral is already. I feel like he's actually doing a better job of controlling this game than he did last time. I feel like last time ShoWTimE had a couple of good moments where I kind of felt like immediately he was already kind of on top of things, but this time it was a little bit better for Serral. Obviously, maybe he's considering Serral was able to turn that first game around into a victory anyway. Roach Ravager will just move up here, we'll just move in. Stasis Ward catching a few of these units, the Stalkers, the Immortals, kind of stuck behind the Stasis units. Is allowing Serral to actually have the Concave in this fight. It's giving him a bit more value in the trades. Sentry wants a little bit too far forward. And looks as though... well, looks as though it's going to be rough. I love what he's doing with these SwarmHosts, by the way. It was true in the last game as well. He was very, very good at moving them around so that they could just hit from slightly different angles. You know, like jumping into the main base there is something that ShoWTimE in no world has a response for. And now the main Nexus just dies, and that's a massive connection, that's a massive play. I feel like so often you see the Locust try and break, if not the third base, maybe they rotate to the fourth, but I feel like Serral's been very creative with his movement of those SwarmHosts and getting them into some different positions to try and get damage done. ShoWTimE's going GG. Like I say, this game definitely felt like it was much more Serral controlled much more quickly, and that was